Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash. Today is Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024, and we are here to talk about the exciting, I know we're super excited for the kickoff of the NFL, the 2024 season. It's here, starting in about 48 hours exactly. The Chiefs and the Ravens will be kicking off. So, Doug, I know you're super pumped. I know I'm super pumped. Can't wait for the start of the NFL. Did I lose you?
I am here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just saying I'm super pumped, man, for the start of the NFL. That's for sure.
Oh, I'm always excited for football. Like the day after it ends, I'm excited for the next season.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Yeah.
I've always been that way too.
Yeah. Well, if you're new to DFS Coach Talk, the first thing we'd like to have you do is go ahead and hit the like button on this video, and then hit subscribe after you've done that. After you've done those two things, if you would hit the alarm bell, that will let you know when our newest podcast has gone live. If you'd like to join our Discord, you can join our Discord. We have our special NFL kickoff deal that we have right now for $79.99. You're going to get all of our content from now all the way through the Super Bowl. So you'll get the rest of the Major League Baseball season, the Major League Baseball playoffs, the entire NFL season, several months of the NBA all the way up until February. And then we have PGA and any other sports that we cover between now and then. You're going to get that content too. So really good deal there. If you want to join us for just a week, we also have a weekly special. You can join for $4.99 for a week. And if you are new, if this is your first time watching us, thank you for joining us. And we will be giving away a free week's membership to our Discord during this show. So definitely want to stay tuned for that. And we'll have more info on that later as we go. So it looks like I lost Doug. Uh-oh. Let me see. Doug, I think I lost you, man. Are you there? He'll come back. He always comes back. So we'll see Doug here in a little bit. All right, so we'll go ahead and look at the slate itself. We'll just go ahead and go game by game like we always do for MLB. First game, as I mentioned, is going to be Thursday night. It's going to start at 8:20 p.m. Eastern, and it is the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are a 3-point favorite at home, a minus 145 on the money line, and this game has an over-under of 46. There's a 28% chance of rain, 81 degrees with the wind blowing north-northwest at 6 miles an hour. There he is.
I'm here.
Yep. I knew you'd come back.
Yeah, my whole browser crashed on me. I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh, no. I was just starting to go over the game Thursday. The Ravens and the Chiefs, big marquee matchup, probably the biggest marquee matchup on the whole slate. Rematch of the AFC Championship. Chiefs are a 3-point favorite at home, minus 145 on the money line. Implied total. I got to get used to saying implied total now and not run total. We're not doing baseball. So, 81 degrees, wind blows north-northwest at 6 miles an hour, slight chance of rain at 28%. Yeah. Anyone in particular that you want to, we'll just briefly touch on this since it's not part of the Sunday slate. Same thing with the Packers and the Eagles. Maybe give like a captain or something, a sneaky captain play that you like for each game. We can do that.
Perrine would be the one I would choose.
Perrine. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he just signed yesterday, I think, with the Chiefs. So that's a quick turnaround.
Like him.
He is Ready to go. I will say, I think Xavier Worthy. I know he's a rookie, and sometimes rookies take a while to get implemented in the system and everything. But I just think he'll be the next Tyreek Hill. He may not be as good as Tyreek Hill in the end, but I do think he'll be a better deep threat than MVS was. I know that's kind of why they brought him in, was to be that replacement for Tyreek as a deep threat. But I think he'll do a good job, and I think he's going to be a solid DFS player this year for people to use for sure. And want to use him earlier than later. He's going to be less owned now than he probably will be in a couple weeks. So I do like Xavier Worthy. Next game, my Packers taking on the Eagles in Brazil. 8:15 p.m. Eastern. The Eagles are 2.5-point favorite. They're considered the home team, even though I think there's going to be more Packers fans there. I don't know if you knew this or not, but they are the number one team in Brazil. There's actually a website you can look up, NFL Brazil, and the Packers are the most popular team in Brazil. So I think it has a lot to do with the fact that they're green and yellow. But
you're probably right there. Oh my goodness, I thought of that.
Yeah. But the Eagles are 2.5-point favorite, minus 135 on the money line, 48.5. It's a pretty good over/under, so they're expecting a lot of points. Matt LaFleur did say today that Romeo Doubs is dealing with a hand injury. It's not supposed to be too serious, but it could hinder him a little bit. So I'm going to say Dontavian Wicks on the Packers would be my pick. And then if you want to give an Eagles player you want to use as a captain, go ahead and feel free to do that.
Sure. Give me the hard one. Hey,
they got a lot of good weapons too. I mean,
they do that. That's almost a problem.
Yeah.
But it really depends, like spending down or spending up, like spending down at captain some. But
yeah.
I mean, the chalk could be AJ Brown or Smith. On that end.
I think maybe. I know Barkley's going to get a lot of carries, but if you could get like a touchdown from a Gainwell, that'd be.
Yeah, I never like going. It's one thing I'll right when I'm getting Eagles running back. I don't trust.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been burned so many times over the years. It's the coaching on that. No, I must get more of tight end in that area, like Dallas Goedert maybe.
Dallas Goedert. Okay.
I'll keep the whole game. I'll go with Goedert.
Yeah. Okay. I like that call. So then we'll go ahead and move over to the Sunday slate. We have 1 p.m. Eastern. The Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta's a -3 favorite at home, -170 on the money line. Low over under of 42. They're indoors, so there's no weather concerns. The Arizona Cardinals taking on the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Bills are a 6.5-point favorite, -310 on the money line. Implied total of 48. 59 degrees, pretty cool. 59 degrees, 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing west-southwest. We have the Tennessee Titans taking on the Chicago Bears. Bears are a 4-point favorite at home, -195 on the money line. Over under of 45, 63 degrees, winds blowing west-northwest at 11 miles an hour. We have the New England Patriots taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are an 8.5-point favorite at home, -430 on the money line. 40.5 total, implied total. Looks like Reese Hoskins just hit a home run. I know we don't have him. Neither one of us did.
Oh, I looked at him and oh my goodness.
Yeah, isn't that how it goes?
It's like, no, he's right-handed. I can't play him.
Yeah.
And then after a right-hander hits a home run, I'm like, right-handers can hit out the right-handers for homers.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. No. That's how it goes. Is you put the guy in your lineup and then you take him out, and then next thing you know, he's got a home run. So that's just how it goes. That's how DFS
exactly what he did, by the way.
I know. Okay, so then we have the Houston Texans taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Houston's a -2.5 favorite at home, on the road, actually. On the road. 160 on the money line, 48.5 total indoors. So there's no weather. Jacksonville Jaguars in Miami. Miami's a
Now we're talking.
3.5 point favorite at home, minus 180 on the money line, 49 over under, 88 degrees. So still really warm in Miami, as you might expect. 8 miles an hour winds, blowing southeast. Then we have the Carolina Panthers taking on the New Orleans Saints. In New Orleans, Saints are a 4-point favorite at home, minus 200 on the money line, low over under of 42. Next game, Minnesota Vikings at the Giants. That's your team. Vikings are a 1.5 point favorite, believe it or not, on the road, minus 125 on the money line.
Yes,
that's okay. 41 over under. 72 degrees, winds blowing west-northwest at 9 miles an hour. So you are a Vikings fan, Doug. Any insight on this game? Anyone that you like in particular?
Vikings defense next.
Okay, Vikings defense. I like it.
I could go in great detail on this entire game. I'm not gonna.
No, you don't have to. All you got to say is Daniel Jones, and then we know why you're saying Vikings.
Well, no, the Vikings pass rush will be the most underrated. They're going to have the most underrated pass rush in the NFL.
Okay, who's going to replace Hunter?
They have Van Ginkel. They have Turner, the first-round draft pick.
And they picked up Van Ginkel.
And then they have Grenard also. He had 13.5 sacks last year.
Yeah, I didn't realize they picked up Van Ginkel. Of course, I recognize him from Wisconsin days. So
it was a 1-for-3 trade.
Okay.
So now they got 3 pass rushers instead of Fanduel Hunter.
Very good. Anyone besides him that you like, or
besides the defense? I think that Jefferson is going to ball out week 1.
I do too. Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be able to cover him.
Yeah.
He's got a chip on his shoulder where he's not one of those guys that's going to slack with the big contract.
Yeah.
Just what everybody else are going to see. Well,
yeah. Have you watched Receiver on Netflix? Speaking of Jefferson.
No, I haven't gotten to that yet.
Man, that is a really good show. I highly recommend it. It's Jefferson, Adams, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, and who else is on there? Amon-Ra St. Brown. So it's really good. It's a really good show. I like it a lot. So the Vikings are favored on the road against the Giants. Then we move to the afternoon. So 4:05 p.m. Eastern, the Raiders taking on the Chargers. Chargers are -3 favored at home, -165 on the money line, 40.5 over under. That's probably the lowest on the entire slate. That's pretty low. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, they're tied with the Patriots and the Bengals, which I think the Patriots are the Bengals will probably put up some points. So the Chargers and the Raiders could end up being the lowest scoring game on the day. Next game, we have the Denver Broncos taking on the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. Seahawks -6 favorite at home. I believe they're the biggest favorite of the slate. -255 on the money line, 42 over under, 71 degrees, winds blowing southwest at 7 miles an hour. We have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Cleveland Browns, 4:25 p.m. Eastern. The Browns are a 2.5 point favorite at home. They are -140 on the money line, 41.5 implied over under. And then the temperature 66 degrees with the wind blowing west at 12 miles an hour. Next game, we have the Washington Commanders taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs are a 3.5 point favorite at home, -170 on the money line, 43.5 over under. 87 degrees, wind blowing west-southwest at 7 miles an hour. We do have a 70% chance of rain. So this game could be the only major weather game of the weekend. So we keep an eye on that for sure. Because I do like some of the Bucks in the passing game, especially against that Washington defense. They were
I love
the league last year. Worse than the league last year against the quarterback. So
if I was in Vegas, I'd bet the over.
Yeah, I think so too. Then we have two really good games. Sunday night, Los Angeles Rams taking on the Detroit Lions. The Lions are 3.5-point favorite at home, minus 185 on the money line. Highest over-under of the weekend, 51. Then we have the New York Jets and the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco. San Francisco is a -4 at home, minus 210 on the money line. 44 over-under, 77 degrees with the wind blowing west-northwest at 10 miles an hour. So, yeah, some really good games to finish up the weekend, week 1 in the NFL. Let's go ahead and go to our top plays, starting at quarterback. So for me, for my pay-up quarterback, I like Josh Allen. He's the highest. I believe he's the highest priced on all three sites. He's $8,000 on DraftKings, $9,200 on Fanduel, $40 on Yahoo. At home against Arizona, last year he averaged 26.3 DraftKings points per game at home. Arizona allowed the 5th most fantasy points to quarterbacks last year, so really good matchup for Josh Allen. I like him as a pay-up option. And then, as we talked about with the Bucks, Baker Mayfield, $5,600 on DraftKings, $7,200 on FanDuel, $27 on Yahoo, going up against a Washington team that allowed the 2nd most fantasy points to quarterbacks last year. So I do like Baker Mayfield for my value and Josh Allen for my pay-up quarterbacks. Who are you looking at, Doug, for your pay-up, and who do you like for the value play?
Pay-up. Let me think about this really long and hard here. Dick Josh Allen, CJ Stroud.
Okay.
You want the value? What's that?
What's that?
In value, first of all, I'm a little worried about Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Richardson, Houston's could have a real nasty defense. We'll see on that. It depends on the site, but Kyler Murray, I don't mind him.
Okay. That's definitely going to be contrarian. I don't think he's going to see much ownership at all. The Bills are one of the higher priced defenses, and usually you don't see a quarterback owned very high against a defense like that. So that's pretty contrarian for sure.
Really?
Yeah, it is. It is.
I have some concerns of Buffalo's defense this year.
Okay, that's fair enough. I get that. Yep. Let's see. So you're going to go with CJ Stroud for your pay up, and then value for Kyle Murray.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, it really depends on what site. Let's go FanDuel for a sec.
Mm-hmm.
For a second, DraftKings, I definitely do Kyle Murray. Sorry about that. Just seeing if there's anybody in FanDuel like a little better.
Yeah, he's a little more pricey on FanDuel. He's $79.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Jaden McDaniels. Besides, I love the Baker call, by the way. He was gonna be my first choice. And then I would go with Jaden McDaniels.
Okay.
Because we're not gonna be able to run the ball against Tampa.
Right. Yeah, 7,000. Yeah.
And I predict Deshaun Watson will not score a touchdown.
Even without Deron Bland, huh? Let's see here.
Yeah, it's just sad, isn't it? Just state affairs there.
Yeah, no, that's all good.
It is.
Okay, so that leads us to running back. I'm going to go with he's not super high priced for a pay up guy, but he's kind of almost upper middle. But James Cook, he's $6,900 on DraftKings, $7,600 on FanDuel, $28 on Yahoo. Washington allowed the most fantasy points to running backs last year. He's a little bit cheaper than the top options on this slate. He has the best matchup of all those options. So kind of going to go with a little bit of a Bills stack here. But I do like James Cook. And then he's not a huge value, but he's a little bit cheaper. Rashad White. $6,300 on DraftKings, $7,700 on Fanduel, $30 on Yahoo. Washington allowed the second most fantasy points to running backs last year.
Yep.
They did draft Bucky Irving from Minnesota, but White was the 7th best running back in fantasy last year, and I think what will happen is they'll slowly bring Irving along. I don't think that in week 1, he's going to be that much of a factor, but he definitely will later in the year. So I think week 1, 2, maybe 3 is when you want to play Rachaad White, depending on the matchup. So,
yeah. I'll give you a real feeling how I feel about the South End there. And I think this is the worst running back class in my lifetime.
It's pretty bad.
It's the worst.
Bad. Yeah.
And anybody wants to argue that, I need them to justify it. I mean, I don't see it. I'm in a dynasty league, Josh, and I looked at the running backs during the draft, and I already knew I wasn't going to draft a running back, and the running backs that are going to be playing are going to be, man, are they running backs or are they receivers?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not receivers. That's really what you got.
You're right.
Off topics. I want receiver, quarterback at my draft. I just kept running backs I had from last year.
Yeah.
I like that. Zagire's going to be good. He's good out of the backfield. I like him a lot. That's a good choice, Josh. I mean, I'll be playing a lot of Jerome Ford, honestly.
Okay. I get that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to be that high scoring.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of people playing him, and he looked good last year.
Yeah, he really did. And Chubb could be out for a while. I mean, I know they expect him to be out at least 6 weeks. So
I love watching him run.
Yeah. He's really on his last leg. He's really coming down.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of a cheaper version. Ford played a lot of him. And I can write down a list. I'm not going to today. They had James Conner.
Yeah, I think I'm in 3 or 4 leagues. I can't remember. I think I'm in 4 leagues, and I think I drafted Ford in 3 of them. So,
yeah James Conner would be another if I was to pay up. And that would be our boy from Wisconsin that plays for the Indianapolis Colts. He's catching the ball.
Yeah.
He's catching the balls out of the backfield. I expect a huge week 1 if they let him play all 3 downs. He doesn't have as much in a way of backups this coming week.
Yeah.
And so less competition, more touches. More touches for him.
I like that. I like that call, and they got to keep CJ Stroud off the field. So I like.
Yes, they do. They really
do.
He's good.
Okay, so let's go on to wide receiver. I know we both like Jefferson. I mean, he's my top play. I'm assuming he's probably your top play. Giants allowed the 5th most fantasy points to wide receivers last year, and they lost one of their best players in their secondary for sure, in Xavier McKinney, who just went to the Packers. I'm excited to see him play. But, Jefferson's faced the Giants 2 times in his career. The first time he faced them, he was a monster game. He had 12 catches for 133 yards and a touchdown for 34.3 DraftKings points. The next time they faced him, he had a little bit lesser of a game. But I think that the Vikings offense is going to be, like it usually is, the focus of it at Justin Jefferson. We'll have to see kind of what the chemistry looks like between Darnold and Jefferson. I don't know exactly how well that's going to go. But I think if nothing else, Jefferson will see a ton of targets, which targets will equal production. So,
yep. And they're missing Hawkinson, their best catching tight end.
For sure.
And they're the number 2 is dinged up a little bit too. The other one,
Addison.
He's playing. He's dinged up though. He's got they didn't say technically. I don't think they ever did come out saying what type of ankle sprain it was. I think it's more of a high ankle sprain. I mean, if you go any one besides Jefferson, I think that but you have 2 other ones I really like, and that is Tyreek Hill and CeeDee Lamb. And I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. But I don't see Jacksonville's defense doing well against Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I don't either.
Secondary.
And I could see Denzel Ward doing okay against CeeDee Lamb. So
good.
Yeah. Do you disagree?
Well, I think it's conditioning. CeeDee Lamb's conditioning is not going to be quite what it normally is, but
yeah,
Ward, I don't know. I mean, Ward is, if he's motivated, yeah, we shut him down. He's really
I feel like he'll get up for this matchup, but I mean, it's CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb could still go off. There's no denying that. And then as far as value goes, I know I'm on a lot of Bills plays, but I do like the receivers. Not Curtis Samuel. He's dealing with a toe injury, which those things always tend to linger. But I do like Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir. They're both very cheap. They're 5,000 and 5,100 on DraftKings, 6,000 and 4,400 on Fanduel, and 20 and 22 on Yahoo. So those guys are going to probably end up being some core plays for me just because they make everything else work with the value. And they should be in a good spot to see a good amount of targets with Josh Allen. So I do like them because Stephon Diggs is now with your boy CJ Stroud. So
my boy.
Yeah. Tight end to me is a joke. Like, I'm going to be paying down as cheap as I can this week and still feel decent about it. I mean, because you don't have Kelsey, you don't have Kittle, you don't have Laporta, Mark Andrews. All those dudes are not playing on the slate. So tight end is very weak on this slate. So
yeah. And if I was to pay down at receiver, I'd be looking at on Fanduel, let's see what we got here. Prices real quick. Brian Thomas Jr. and definitely Josh Palmer on both sides.
Okay. Yeah. I can definitely see that. A lot of people are thinking that Justin Herbert's not going to do that well this year, but I don't know. I think he's a good quarterback. I think that Jim Harbaugh is going to get more out of him than what was his name? Mike McCoy or whatever they had before. Yeah.
I don't remember his name at all.
I'm trying to remember. I mean, that's what we think of him. He's a forgettable coach, that's for sure. Brandon Staley, that's who it was.
Staley, thank you. And do you think I had offensive line? See what he can do.
Yeah, he was not a good coach, but anyway, I do like Josh Palmer. I think that's a good.
And the only one I'd be spending up for at tight end, well, the one that Bungus both out would be McBride for Arizona.
Man, he is really getting a lot of attention this year. That's for sure. I mean, he
was a lot of attention last year. Look at the targets.
Yeah. I mean, he was like third, I think, on my draft board on ADP.
Really?
So, yeah.
Sure, I have him ranked, Josh.
He's going up there. Like he's Kelsey or Kittle or Andrews, Florida. And I don't think he's quite at that level. I don't think he's quite at that level. So I didn't take him, with an early pick like that. But that's where he was in ADP on my drafts. So
I got him fifth. I got Pitts, a huge other bargain this week.
Yeah,
Pitts is a good bargain, good deal this week.
Yeah, I like Pitts.
So I Pitts fourth, McBride fifth, Ferguson sixth, Ingram seventh for season long. And this week, you could literally say those guys are about the same price range, but McBride's more expensive than the rest of them are.
Yeah, and this will be the best quarterback that Pitts has ever had. So I mean, this will be a breakout year for Pitts for sure. I like, and this is definitely a value play, but Zach Ertz, 3,600 on DraftKings, 4,800 on FanDuel, $12 on Yahoo. The Bucs allowed the third most fantasy points to tight ends last year, and Devin White went to the Eagles. So their coverage against tight ends is not going to be that great, and I think that Ertz is going to see quite a bit of targets, be pretty heavily involved in the game plan. because they're going to try and take away McLaurin, I think. So I think Ertz is going to be a good play.
Yeah. And that's just it, Josh. Everybody's tells McDaniels is going to be quarterbacking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody's going to be like, who's the second receiver? Who's the second receiver? People a lot of times overlook tight end. And
Yeah.
their second best receiver is their tight end right now, Ertz.
Exactly. And they sent Watson to the Eagles too. So
and a rookie's best friend's a tight end.
Yep. That is true. That is true. Yeah. Defense. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of different plays you could use for defense. The three I landed on were the Bills, the Falcons, and the Bucks. But I think there's a lot of defenses out there that you could use on this weekend.
I would play somebody cheap.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm terrible at this, but I really am serious on this. Like, it's whatever I played that I like, and then whatever I've left over for defense, I just pick the best one out from there. And that's what I do every week, and that's what works best usually. If you want to nail it down more, Cleveland and Dallas are both going to be a very low-scoring game.
I think so too.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think their quarterbacks can throw a touchdown from Cleveland unless it's a complete broken coverage.
Yeah, which that would make more sense on the Jerome Ford play too.
Yeah. And Stefanski likes tight ends and the running game.
Yep, that's true. Yep. So then we'll go to our lock of the week and our upset of the week, and then we'll do our Super Bowl 59 predictions and our Two Brains lineup after we do Prizepicks. So still got a lot left to get to here. If you're still watching, hang in there. We'll get this wrapped up here soon. My lock of the week is going to be the Bills over Arizona. I like them a lot at home. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me. I know you kind of like Arizona a little bit this week, so we'll see what happens there. My upset of the week is going to be the Raiders plus 3.5 at the Chargers. I think, with Antonio Pierce, they definitely had a completely different attitude and environment in that locker room last year, and I think it'll carry over a little bit. They've got Gardner Minshew now, who I think is a better quarterback than they've had in the past for sure. So I do think the Raiders are going to have a good week this week against the Chargers, and I do like them in an upset. So who is your lock of the week, and who is your upset this week?
Wow, my survivor lock of the week is Seattle.
Okay.
Up in Denver.
Yeah.
That could bite me. And so that's my lock. And then my upset, I don't know if it's a huge upset, but Pittsburgh beating Atlanta.
Okay. I have seen that one quite a bit, actually. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, I have actually. Super Bowl prediction, Super Bowl 59 prediction. And I've gone back and forth on this one several times with who I think. I think it's going to be the Chiefs. I feel like, they're the safe pick, but they're also, I feel like, the smart pick.
Agreed.
They'll probably have, a down, quote unquote, down regular season and then do like they always do and turn on the playoffs. But I like the Chiefs over the Lions. I'm going with my Super Bowl pick.
The Lions, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Why? I'll just go with Niners.
So you're going to go with the repeat of last year?
Yep. Nice and boring.
Over the Niners.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think Green Bay also has a shot at it this year too.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about Green Bay. That would be quite an ordeal in our household, with my wife being a diehard Chiefs fan and me being a diehard Packers fan, but it could happen. We've kind of been waiting on that to happen in a sense, but that's an interesting matchup for sure.
Well, it's real quick. Last year, the Packers had how many other receivers injured in the playoffs?
Last year?
Yeah. They had a lot of injuries in the playoffs and the receiver car.
No, last year they were actually healthy. It was like the first time they were healthy all year. They were beat up most of the season, but
right.
Watson was the playoffs. They had all their guys actually.
They're playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were they healthy?
I mean, as healthy as you can be that time of year.
Yeah, maybe.
But I get your point. I do get what you're saying.
Watson didn't have the burst.
Yeah,
and,
Watson wasn't 100%. No, definitely not.
And Wicks got dinged up the week before really bad.
Yeah,
It showed. Yeah, but they have better. Yeah, we'll see how the running game is too. Anyways.
Yeah, with Jacobs, I mean, I'm interested to see how that's going to go. I think Aaron Jones, when he's healthy, is one of the best backs in the league. So we'll see what happens there. But he just hasn't been able to stay healthy. But Josh Jacobs hasn't actually been the picture of health either. So
a lot of carries.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, I think the Texans, if I was going to look at the AFC besides the Chiefs, I think the Texans and obviously Baltimore, they're still in play. Baltimore adding Derrick Henry, I think that's a pretty strong move. But at the end of the day, it's hard to pick against Mahomes. So we got Chiefs Lions and Chiefs 49ers. Prizepicks. So for Prizepicks this week, they have a free square. You have Caleb Williams, more than 0.5 passing yards. Unless he gets hurt in warm-ups, he's going to go over that.
Rodgers.
Yeah, really, exactly. Bulls and Aaron Rodgers. And then if he did, then he would get rebooted, so they wouldn't count the play. So, but hopefully that doesn't happen. I want the Bears to be healthy, so when we beat them, they don't have any excuses. But Travis Kelce, more than 14.5 fantasy score. He's averaged 22.4 DraftKings points in his last 4 games against Baltimore. I had a monster game against them in the AFC Championship. And with all these wide receivers, it's just going to take the pressure off of him. He's going to have plenty of opportunities in the red zone, especially. I like that number at 14.5 fantasy. Aaron Jones has a goblin, which is a discounted play at 39.5 rushing yards. I definitely think he'll go over that. His normal number isn't that high either at 55.5 rushing yards. So the Giants allowed the 4th most rushing yards per game last year. So I do like Aaron Jones to go over. And then the last play on Prizepicks will be Josh Allen more than 22 fantasy score. I think that's a really attainable number for him at home, especially. So with that being said, anything else that you want to get to before we go over to our Two Brains lineup?
Let's hit it.
Okay. Go ahead and take the quarterback.
Well, Allen is a complete chalk pick, so let's go with him.
What now? You're saying you want to go with Allen or no?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Let's do something contrarian. You can do that too.
Well, I was thinking if we wanted to go with Baker, but we can go with Allen.
Let's do Baker. That sounds more fun.
Yeah, GPP. Let's
done Baker, layup and allow.
I'll go ahead and take Ertz. That's going to be super cheap.
Yes.
4,800. Yeah. Leaves us with 68.57 per player, so we should do pretty well here.
Yeah. Connor at running back.
James Conner.
Yeah.
Okay. He is 6,100. Okay. I'll go ahead and take I don't know if I'm going to take Shakir or Coleman. I'll take Coleman. Where is he? I don't see him. He must be more than.
No, I got right here. It's all earlier.
6,000. Okay, still not bad.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. You got Baker. I like Godwin.
Godwin? Okay.
He's been getting him more involved in practice. So.
Wow, he's down to 5,600.
Yeah.
That is cheap.
I know. You said you're fishing for a bargain, Coleman. I'm like,
yeah. 5,600. Wow.
Yeah, and here's some things. They've been getting more involved. Couple runs he's doing like reverses a couple times now. they're not just lining them up at the same spot. They're going to move them around. So
yeah, for
it's a
sure.
no-brainer to do this, but they're actually going to do it this year. So
let's see. I don't really trust Keenan Allen at this point. I think he's pretty banged up. I'm going to take a Dunze. This will definitely be contrarian. We got two rookies.
yeah, and I got a Dunze on my fantasy team, and he's up projected well.
He's not projecting well?
No.
Well, do we want to go a different route?
I would.
Okay.
I would in this case. Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
What we'll see anyways.
Let's see. I'll just take the obvious pick for now. I'll take Jefferson.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't turn down points, and
right.
You got.
And he's gonna provide points, that's for sure. So.
Yeah, and you gotta have the alpha receiver, and you gotta pick the right one.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Each and every week, and if you don't do it, you're dead no water. I just trying to go a little bit here, trying to decide. Eckler or Robinson at running back to Washington Anders. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how involved he's going to be, but I mean, he definitely could be a solid play.
I just decided Brian Williams or Eckler. Kind of, I like stacking back on the tap up.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's not a competitive game, then it's not going to work.
Right.
And generally, I like doing running back with my core against the quarterback the other team. So this definitely contrarian. Sorry, what?
Robinson. You want to go Eckler or Robinson then?
Right, just check my numbers again. Sorry, just going to see what's on better.
Eckler. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just wanted to be 100% sure.
All right, so
everybody listening.
Somebody in the chat. Frank, are you new? Is this your first time checking out our podcast? And if not, are you in our Discord? If you can keep an eye on that chat, I'm gonna look at a selection here. Defense. Let's see. Where the heck did Minnesota go? Let's see. Oh, they're the most expensive. Wow. Okay.
On Fanduel, yeah.
Yeah. I'll take.
Sure.
Yeah, we got. Wow. I'll take Seattle. And that leaves us with 11,000. Wow.
Oh, good. You know what? Could you just.
So we can move Godwin.
He's not a regular, so that's good news.
What's that?
Frank, he's not a regular. Frank is not a regular. So would you put in a defense, Josh? Sorry about that.
Oh, I put the Seahawks.
Okay.
And then I moved Godwin to flex, and so that leaves you with 11,000 at receiver.
Sorry.
So what I'll probably do is you go ahead and take your receiver, and I'll probably upgrade Coleman at receiver as the other receiver.
Do that. And who do we have at tight end again? Josh.
We had Zach Ertz.
Ertz.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so cheap. Why? Well, if we already got, if we got Ertz at tight end, we don't need Eckler. So why don't we, instead of Eckler, see, this is what you guys should all be doing, just improving your team.
So who did you take at receiver? Tyreek?
No, I took out at running back. I took out.
Oh, okay. Took out Eckler.
Put Jonathan Taylor in.
Jonathan Taylor. Okay.
And then how much does that leave us now?
8,300.
That's what I thought.
So that will put us in the category of Mike Evans, who we can
sure will.
With Baker. I like that.
Yep, I like it a lot. That looks a lot better.
Yeah. So we got Baker Mayfield, James Conner, Jonathan Taylor, Keon Coleman, Mike Evans, Justin Jefferson, Zach Ertz, Chris Godwin, and the Seahawks defense as our two brains are better than one lineup.
Yeah, I like it.
Go ahead and put that in, lock that in.
Good.
And that is going to do it, unless we have any questions in the chat. Let's see.
No, Frank got a question. So, and he is.
Oh yeah, I answered him about coaching Deb. King of Smack, what's going on, man? Let's see. You said there was another question. I didn't.
Oh, you caught it. That's good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Let me know if anyone else has any questions.
I will.
Otherwise, go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. And
yeah,
I'll check back in comments next day or two. Anybody has any questions in the next couple of days, put it in the comments section. I will look up and answer your questions best I can.
Yep. Sounds good. We'll be back Friday, right? Probably around 2:00. I think we've been doing our podcast lately for the MLB podcast. Hope everybody has a great night and everybody enjoys the show. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead and hit the like and the subscribe button if you haven't yet on your way out. And like I said, we'll be back again on Friday as we look to crush it in DFS and Prizepicks. Have a great night. Thanks.